with the way the market's going right now, people see that little drop and everyone's starting to freak out. All right, this is how it usually starts when people see a couple things drop, and then everyone else starts freaking out, and then you start seeing other stuff go down. I'm telling you this right now, these scalpers, they brought on a freaking winter. All right, it's like winter time hit. There's nothing to harvest. There's no fruits. There's no foods out there. The nuts are gone. You know, squirrels, I love their nuts, but there's nothing there. Okay. The little collapse happens, everything falls out, scalpers are freaking out. It's like springtime, all right? And the investors and the collectors, it's like a little groundhog comes out the hole and looks around. It's kind of like, is the weather good? Is there some fruits? Are there some nuts? Up. It looks like everyone's freaking out and putting everything out there. It looks like there's some harvest. Let's just come out the hole. Let's start buying now. All right. That's what I'm going to be doing. All right. All right, guys. Did you saw that? That was me losing my mind, and I was going to release that video earlier this week. But I decided I was gonna wait it out, and good thing I did, because now I can give you guys an actual look at what's going on. And do I think a market's crashing? No, not at all. Maybe a slight correction, maybe a calming. You won't know exactly what's gonna happen with the market until Phantasmal Flames hits. And then also on top of that, you know, you have holiday in fluctuations, people buying stuff for gifts and all that good stuff. And yeah, the market is in a calming state right now. All right, I'm not gonna go into huge details, but look right here. Okay, this is my alt art singles binder. Okay, I have all the alt arts from Sword and Shield. Look, calming. It's gone up. There was a calming in early up to mid-August, and it started climbing. Now we're in end of September, mid to end of October. Look, calming. It's just not going up and like everyone hopes it's gonna, that everything does here, and it doesn't work that way. It's that you have your calm periods, you have your climb, you have your like corrections, your ups and downs. You ride it out. If you want guaranteed that you're always gonna make money here, you buy some stuff, you put it on the shelf, you put it in the storage, and you forget about it for 5 or 10 years. So you come back up, look, profit. Yeah, that's how you guarantee it. Otherwise, you're gonna stress yourself out watching this stuff every 2 days, every day. Say, oh my god, it dropped $1. Oh, it went up $10. Oh no, $11 loss. No, I'm sorry. That's all these freak out videos and stuff about the market crashing, bull run. This is the end of Pokemon. Is this the end of the hobby? Is this the end of collecting? Are we going back down to SRP? We're never going back down to SRP. That's not going to happen. Those days of $100 booster boxes are gone. Never again. Could it? No, actually, I don't think so, because it's just too much money on the table to lose if Pokemon decides to do anything to cause the market to the SRP to go back down to that price. No, it can't. I don't think it could happen. You'd have to have a Bondi experience in order for Pokemon to really go that low. And what's a Bondi experience? A Bondi's experience is when they do what they did to One Piece. I believe it was 2024-ish. I'm not sure if it was late 2023, but I know it's 2024. I want to say the first couple months or so. They made an announcement. They're like, hey, we're going to actually, let me see if I can find it. 1 second. I'll close this one. Let me move it to this one right here. There we go. Big news, promised reprint. That kind of, when something like this happens, you lose faith of investors for a bit. Why? Because a lot of investors' faith is in the idea that if you buy boxes and they go out of print, they will continually rise as they become more and more sought after, as people open those boxes and fewer and fewer are left out in the wild. All right, this collapsed a lot of OP01, 2, 3, 4, 5 for quite a while. I don't say permanently, but they're still climbing now. But I want to say a good 8 months ish. The One Piece boxes just collapsed. The boxes that I bought for $400, $500 dropped down to freaking $200. The only box that weathered the storm really well and continued to just steadily climb after a little bit of a drop was OP01 Blue Bottom, and that was because that's an errata box. That is something that blue bottom to white bottom errata change. You are not going to reprint something that you had to do an errata change on. That's never going to happen. So the blue box retained its value, and even right now it's hitting towards about $3,000. But right now the market's at a calm. We can look at everything here in my portfolios to use as an example. All arts, like I said, calm. It's just leveled out over here. Hidden Fates is like this Hidden Fates PSA 10 collection. It's just another example. Take these out of consideration. These are like random peaks because people were losing their mind over Charizard from Phantasmal, because of Phantasmal Flames Charizard. Whenever something comes out for Charizard in general, it spikes up other Charizards. I don't know why. It's like a chain reaction of Charizards. And this is what happened. These were all big sales on Charizards that spiked up, and then as you see, it was like at 1.5 or something like that, and now it's come back down. So these came back down, but generally speaking, you know, a slight increase, but I still say this is within the realm of consistently going. It's not really shooting to the moon. It's not really dropping off the cliff. And invest in booster boxes. This is like all my booster boxes from X and Y, Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon. Why am I drawing a blank on Scarlet and Violet? I don't know why my brain just shut down for a second. Roughly speaking, yeah, it's still within the realm. All right, there was a spike down and immediate back up. That happens when you deal in expensive boxes. Team Up was at 10. It was at 8,000 at one point. Spiked up to 10,000. Spiked down to 8,000. That's what we're seeing here. But when you deal with high boxes, at least a few to several thousand dollars, and you're gonna have people who undercut. Then you're gonna have like points where people just buy a box out that's extremely priced up. It goes up, goes down, but it stays within the realm right here. There's no general huge trend going up and down. It's just really calm right now. Really calm. My ATB collection right here. Now this one is still really calm. This drop right here does not matter because that was right here. I sold 3 ETBs. I sold 3 X and Y ETBs, the blue, the red, and Breakpoint. So if you look up, you take that out of the equation, then you move this, it goes right back up to about 35, and then if it spikes up, it goes up to about between 35.5 and 36. So roughly, it's still staying pretty even. So, and this is just my collection. It's using it as an example. I do not see anything crashing. I do not see anything skyrocketing. These are my tag teams. Now, these 2 big jumps are because I added new cards. Okay, I added Magikarp and Wailord, and I added Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia tag team GX cards to them. That's why those are as big as they are. But if you take this out and you take this out, so that means this would be right around here, and then right here it would have spiked down and come back up. So you'd be sitting close to about 20,000. And that is roughly within the realm of it. Is that 20, almost 21,000? Drop down a little bit, drop back up. It's just chugging along. So no, I don't see a market crash. I do not see anything remotely saying it's the end of the bull run, but I don't see an actual bull run either with my collection. I just see a steadiness. I just see everything is calm. You're kind of ups and downs, but everything is staying within the realm of reason. Now, you're not going to know really what's going to happen until Phantasmal Flames hits, and then the holidays hits, and then you have 30th anniversary coming next year, and a lot of these things are going to change stuff. 30th anniversary is probably going to spike up 25th anniversary. Phantasmal Flames, don't know. It could go down the hole for all I know, and I'm only saying that because you saw what happened with Obsidian Flames. It's a big Charizard hype set, and yeah, that did not do too well for Charizard. It didn't do too well for that set. Like, Obsidian Flames was there. They advertised Dragonite, and boom. I think they thought there was going to be an SIR of Dragonite, right? I think that was the belief, and nothing. And now they do the same thing with Phantasmal Flames. They expected the Gengar, because there's Gengar in the art and stuff, and they're like, oh, there must be a Gengar SIR or whatever. Now, from what I've heard and read, boom, they yanked the Gengar SIR out of there too. And now you're just left with a Charizard, which I think is bull that they do that, because people were heavily going into Phantasm with it because Gengar. Gengar is also a really good card. I mean, and now that he's not in there, and then you're kind of like, oh, this is Charizard. I really think that that's going to kill a lot of momentum for Charizard. Not kill it entirely, but you saw what happened with Obsidian Flames. All right, every time a Charizard has come out and everyone thinks it's gonna go to the moon or something, it doesn't. Brilliant Stars was Brilliant Stars was printed plentifully, and it was a cheap booster box for quite a while. The Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. This thing was cheap for a very long time. Phantasmal Flames UPC with the Charizard. It's probably going to be cheap. It's probably going to come out expensive at first, and it'll probably drop down. It should drop down. Why? It's not a specialty set UPC. It's only going to have Phantasmal Flames and previous packs in it. So then, technically, the Charizard, the Phantasmal Flames UPC price should only go up and down, affected only by the what packs are in it and the price of those packs. That is going up. A lot of those because Evolving Skies is in there, I believe. But I swear this is just like clockwork again with Charizard UPC a few years ago, and then Obsidian Flames, and then how, I don't know, Charizard's getting tiring. But that's just beside the point. Like, you won't know what's going on until really Phantasmal Flames. Phantasmal Flames is really gonna tell you where the hobby's going in terms of the market. I'm just gonna wait it out and see what happens with that. Now, is there some things you can probably invest in the meantime? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. There's only two things I'm gonna look at getting. And you hear there's plenty of these guys on there that will tell you this. And if you're not doing it, then I don't know. Prismatic Evolution. If you should be picking up super premiums, you should be picking up ETBs. These ones, I lost my mind on those because over here the price is so inconsistent. I just like, no, forget it. Booster bundles, ETBs, super premium collections. That's what I'm picking up. Okay, that's what I'm picking up. Am I opening any more product? Hell no. You see my videos. I have no luck, and I believe that's gonna drive these things into the moon because the pull rate on these is horrendous, horrendously horrendous. I want nothing to do with opening Prismatic Evolutions. I want everything to do with having the product. Nothing to do with opening it. I'm at this point, I will rather just buy a $4,000 PSA of Umbreon EX than open it. All right. I got one. I got Espeon. Done. The other thing that I'm gonna say watch out for is Mega Evolutions, and I'm only saying this because these boxes right now and the case are dropping. I'm looking at probably being a buyer to buy more, a few cases when it gets to 1700 and 1600. That's just how I'm feeling right now. However, we don't know how low they'll go. I'm maybe 250 at the lowest here. But my issue here is that these are dropping because we're at second part of the first allocation. The first wave, second half of the allocation. It's weird how they split it up. My problem is this right here. Is this only a pre-release thing, or was the non-enhanced booster box something that's going to be for a second wave and a third wave? Because if that's the case, that's a hidden variable that could greatly affect this immensely, because this all of a sudden becomes a Pokemon Center booster box in a sense, because it has a promo card and the future waves don't, and we don't know where that's gonna go. We don't know if that's the case. If someone knows, leave me a comment down below so I understand if this was a pre-release thing or this is for future waves. Because if this is for future waves, this thing might be a great buy right now. I'm just saying. But anyways, that's what I think. That's how I feel about the market right now. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below what's going on with Mega Evolutions. I was glad I put out the video a little bit later because, man, I was following the trend. Everyone saying, oh, the market's crashing, the market's crashing. I saw it for the one day and I was like, oh, it's crashing. And then I waited and I was like, yeah, no, it's really not. It's just stagnating. It's just going a little bit ups and downs here and it's just staying there. That's what it's doing. And I'm just gonna keep my eye on things, and you should too. And don't be afraid to jump on stuff before it's too late. Especially prismatic evolution stuff. You're gonna be those people who are wishing it's cheaper and more to come out like they do with 151. With 151, look at it now. And I feel like prismatic evolution has way more big pulls than 151. That's all I got to say. I'm out. You guys take care. Yay! Game 5.